Good afternoon, Talking After Dark family, and welcome to Talking After Dark. Today's episode will be about the female's perspective about relationships and where they are and where they hope to be. Today, our audience is comprised of a rose gold stepping team that will give us some feedback as to what they see life as from the relationship perspective. Please introduce yourselves and your status.
Hi, my name is Patrice and I'm single.
Hi, I'm Anita, and I'm single.
I'm Nikki, and I'm single.
I'm Vernell, and I am single.
I'm Sharita. I'm married.
So from the ladies that's single, let's start with you. You are single because
I'm single because I've been married before and I have a few side effects to relationships, and being serious, I done came across some men and I see the same thing that I was in my marriage. So that's why I'm single right now.
So where do you hope to be?
I hope to be. I'm family oriented. I love family. I love being in love. My man, I know how to treat my man. And that's where I hope to be. I want a man that want the same thing as I, so we could be on the same page, on the same team.
How about you, Linda?
I'm single. I was married. I'm single because I don't know. It's relationships. I've been hurt. I've been stalked. I've just had so many things to happen. I kind of took a break from relationships to raise my family, to raise my children, and now I'm in a place to where I'm an empty nester, and it's about figuring out what Anita wants at this stage in my life.
Does Anita want to be single?
No, she does not. Anita would like a mate.
Being an empty nester, that means you spend most of your time by yourself.
Yes, I got a dog.
Can you take your dog to the movies?
No, she can't go. Well, actually, she probably could because she's registered as an emotional support dog.
Well, but on the other side of that, what do you want that picture to look like holistically in a relationship? If you could.
I want someone that I can share my feelings and they feel free to share theirs with me. I want him to be my safe space, and in turn I be his. Someone that we can love on one another and hang out and kick it and skate and dance and just be one with one another, but it's just hard to find that because these days there's so many options and opportunities, and men tend to take advantage of the fact that women outnumber them in a sense. And so when you feel like you in a one-on-one relationship with this man, you find out weeks, months later that he's got 2, 3, 4 other women that he's seeing or being with, and you never knew. So from that perspective, that's happened to me on multiple occasions. So therefore I tend to keep my walls up and be blocked.
So when you say you keep your walls up, that means that you're unavailable.
I guess to define it, yes, I guess so.
So if you're unavailable, then a prospective client or suitor can't find you because your life or your business says closed. The light is not on.
I guess so.
So business use that sign for a reason that says open and close. Closed means just that, closed, unavailable, unable to service you.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you're looking for, we got it. We just can't get it to you.
Okay.
Is that fair to you? And is that also fair to a prospective suitor?
It's not. I won't say that my business is closed. I would just say that we have limited hours.
Good answer. So moving along, so you, I believe, are also single.
Yes, I'm single.
How long have you been single?
Oh, a good little while.
What's a good little while?
Maybe about, I'd say about 5 years or more.
5, that's a long time to be single.
It is.
So when you say single, that means you're not dating at all.
I mean, I've dated, but it doesn't go further than that. We may go out on a date or 2, and then that's it. Next thing you know, I look on Facebook and they married.
So,
I never knew they were even
So if all of
dating
the people that
anybody
you've
else.
been out on dates with, when you've checked them out on Facebook, they've all been married? That's always been a scenario?
Well, my experience, I take that back. My experience has been, I will think that I'm, me and this guy, we may be dating, and
So
He act like it's all about me.
Let me clarify something.
Okay.
Because when you go out on a date, it is just that, a date. You're not dating. So there's a difference between going out on a date and dating. So which one is it? Are you dating these guys, or have you just gone out on dates with them? Because there is no potentiality for anything subsequential that happen, because it's just a date. And at that date, you can determine whether or not you want to have a second date or a third date or a fourth date. But there's no obligation one to the other, because it's just a date.
Right.
So where are we with that? We're dating, or we just go out on, we've been out on a few dates?
I've been out on a few dates, but there have been times where I was dating someone, and I looked up. They stopped calling, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And I look up, and they married.
So is that considered to be ghosting, or is that just considered to be a fake and a fraud? Just somebody who
To me, a fake and a fraud,
somebody
because I'm like, okay, you couldn't tell me that. You couldn't tell me that you were seeing other people. I mean, like I say, we are just dating, but you couldn't tell me you were dating somebody else, and before you know it, you're married. You automatically married.
Had he said he was dating other people,
No.
would you still have wanted to go out on a date with him?
I mean, yeah, because like you say, dating is getting to know each other to see if you want to go further. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. And yourself, man?
I have not dated since 2016.
So that's roughly what, 6
7
years,
years,
7
7.
years. So have you been out on dates?
Nope.
Is that by choice?
Nobody asked me.
Are you available?
I guess like when you were saying about a wall, but I don't know I have a wall. I don't see my wall. I think I'm approachable, but
So then what do you think that has kept you from 7 years from dating one person? Are you out and about? Are you a recluse? Are you just at home?
I've been
Or-
inside.
So you're inside.
Outside in the yard as far as I go, and Lowe's, and these few weeks my grandkids don't even know how to act with me going somewhere, because I asked for grandkids, and that's what I've been, a grandmother.
So how can a man find you if you're not there to be seen?
That's why, I guess, because I haven't been seen. I mean,
Do you want to be seen?
yeah, I want to date.
You gotta do the work. You got to get out of the house. You have to make yourself available. You have to be someplace where men are, so men can see you. If they can't see you, they can't know you. So knowing that what you know now, that you've been detached and separated from the masses, how do you fix that? How do you make yourself available?
That's crazy, because I didn't do it for the first 2 times. I believe in long term. When I'm in a relationship, I believe in that relationship. I've been married twice, and both of my relationships were 17 years. When I'm committed, I'm committed. That's why I said when she said she was married, I believe in marriage. I believe in love. It still exists. It's just haven't happened for me.
Do you want it to happen?
Yes.
So what are you willing to do differently? Listen
Like
to these
now,
other
I'm coming
ladies and-
outside.
Yeah. So I'm sure joining a dance group where you're going to meet people and people are going to see you, you have an opportunity and an occasion to make acquaintances with other people, therefore offering you some opportunity to be engaging with people who might be interested in what they see in that picture. I tell people all the time that a picture is just a picture, and it has no relevance until you frame it. The most beautiful thing about a picture is the frame that encompasses it. When you take a picture and you mat it and you frame it, oh, what a beautiful thing it is. That's what a relationship looks like, or supposed to look like. You see something that you like, that catches your eye, and for the moment, it has your full attention. But what a wonderful thing it is when you take the time not to find a mat, but the perfect mat. And once you've got the matting, and then the frame sets it in place, and the relationship becomes just that, a unison of two things collectively coming together to form a more perfect union, in other words. It's just a picture that just embellishes what those two hearts feel to each other, how they gather together, come together to just make something for eyes to see, not just your eyes or his, but eyes to see, so that everybody that sees the picture, they see the love, they see the picture, and they see the love that's there. I promise you, you are married, much different than these other people. So how is your relationship or your marriage much different than the conversation that these ladies have had about their relationships?
I mean, I wasn't close. I've been married before. This was my second marriage. I've been married before. And in some instances, after my first one, I kind of like closed myself in. And then I thought about it. I feel like if I close myself in, he won. So I just opened myself back up for dating. And I got the right one.
So
and
how
I've been
long
married for 23 years.
Once
What
that
did you
revelation
do,
came
though?
to you, how long did it take you to feel like you needed to put yourself out there?
It was probably I probably waited about a year. Because I had to really get myself back together from what I had been through with the first one. But yeah, after that.
If you were to get divorced today, would you give up on love?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't give up on it, no.
So if I said to you ladies that there is someone for everyone, my question to you is, where's yours? And what are you planning on doing to get it? Feel free to answer.
That's why I said I was confused. As long as you stay by yourself, I have found that I'm selfish.
Yeah.
And I'm just being honest. I like things my way.
Yeah.
When I was on a prayer call and a lady said you have to make preparation for your Boaz. If you don't, I looked at my closet and I said, oh, he can't come here. He need a whole nother room. So that's selfishness. That's minute
Yes,
to you,
yes,
but
yes.
when she said you had to share, I have to learn how to share everything. And I'm like, oh no, he need the other bathroom. And I got 2 seats. I'm not willing to. So that's selfishness. So I'm asking God to do something within me because I have found that I'm selfish.
So we have a question from a gentleman in the audience. And your question to the
My
ladies
question
is,
is, what do y'all women see a man as? And what is a man? And what is, when I say man, it's before you start dating, before you get into a relationship, what is a man? Then once you get into a relationship, what do you expect of that man? What should that look like? What should he be?
Well, my thing is, what is a man?
Yeah.
A man is a man. But what you want from a man, or what you require of a man,
What do you see a man to be to you?
a man to be, to me, is my partner,
Okay.
beside me.
What
and
is
we
that?
do this thing together.
And what is that? What does that look like?
That's what I'm finna tell you. A man where we're partners and we doing this together, that means we come together, we work together, we make things work together. Not me behind him, not him in front of me, or whatever, we side by side.
Absolutely.
Doing it together.
Absolutely.
As one
As
kind of
one.
thing.
Absolutely.
And that comes in communicating. You know, you have to have communication, one.
Yes.
When you starting to date over again, communication is key. But a lot of people take relationships and make them so complicated.
Yeah.
They're very elementary
Yeah.
when you think on it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
agree.
one thing about me is what I give to you, I expect that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just elementary.
Yeah.
I know how I want to be treated. I tell you how I want to be treated. You tell me how you want to be treated. I'm going to treat you the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
You treat me the way I want to be treated. Then I know how to please my man. I know how to satisfy my man. So what you want, give me what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I give you what you want. Then we do it together.
so what would you ladies say is the most important element in a relationship?
Communication.
Communication. Yes.
Would you-
Keeping
would
the
you-
lines of communication open.
I agree with that
I
myself.
just want a
Everyone
godly one.
can
'Cause
communicate.
He can be
Comprehension
godly,
is
but he
key.
can't communicate. Not gonna work.
Look, communication
Gotta have
is
communication.
great.
But if he godly,
But
he gonna know you have to have
comprehension is better.
communication.
But if you communicate, some cannot communicate because you feel
Some can't communicate, but all can't
can't
comprehend.
comprehend. I agree.
That's a good
But
point.
the thing about communicating, because if you can't open up and tell me what I have done you, if I wronged you,
That's true.
or if I can't open up and tell you what you have done to me, or if we just can't communicate on a daily basis of what we're doing and how we're going to do this today, or you know what we need to do today as a team, then communication, if you don't have no communication, you don't have nothing.
What's
to
your
me.
questions?
I have one more question. There's been this myth going around about in a relationship there has to be a lead, and when somebody said it has to be a lead, the other may think that there's a follower,
Right.
but not necessarily a follower.
Right.
Somebody has to be in charge
You're right.
or how does the Bible say it should be, the structure of a marriage or a relationship?
Man, no man.
And
If he can't lead, he ain't leading.
it appears some men can't step up to that task and some women won't allow them to.
Right.
How do you structure that, and how would you structure that in a relationship? Do you think it's important?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
And will you let a man be in the position that he needs to be?
Yes.
So a
yes.
woman can be in the position she needs to be.
Let me tell you let me speak on that. I'm a strong woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm very driven. I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. I'm all that. But I want a man to come in and lead me so I can stop being so strong. You kind of feel what I'm saying?
So,
You can
so with that,
feel
so with that,
He has to. I
Yeah,
know
he
what you're
has
saying
to.
about that lead,
Mhm.
but in order to lead, he has
To
to
be
follow after God
God
himself
himself,
in
right.
order to begin to
Lead
try to
you.
lead his
That's
household.
right.
He had to be led by God.
Right.
That's
so,
right.
yes.
so is it safe to say that we're all looking for a man who has godly principles within himself?
Yes.
And you look for him to bring that into the relationship?
Yes.
So what about the man that meets you on every other level except that one? Except that one. Where do you find yourself in that moment? Do you dismiss it? Or is that a moment for a I tell you that red flags are not a dismissive
Right.
opportunity. It is an opportunity for a conversation.
That's right. To
So
converse.
you
That's
should at least have that conversation with him relative to
Right.
what is necessary for you in your life and what that picture looks like for you.
Right.
I will tell you that when we find ourselves in a situation where we're looking for love in all the right places, and we've been through some things, in every relationship that we've had, we've found ourselves somewhat detached from even looking. As you said earlier, you said that you shut down, you closed up, and you separated yourself from every opportunity to meet someone or for someone to see you. But I will tell you that there is someone for each and every one of us. Finding that person, or Boaz, or finding that woman or that suitor, they are available. They may not be here.
Right.
They may be there.
Right.
You may have to lend yourself to a mindset, a mind change. If you knew that at 20 and 30 years of age that this part of a man was important to you. He had to be fine and good looking, and he had to look like just a towering figure of a man. But certainly when you get to be 40 or 50 or 60, that cannot be the dynamics. Those cannot be the elements that make you feel like what you needed then is what you need now. The older you get, it requires a different element from him to complete you. Trying to find happiness in another person is probably not going to work at all if it's only happiness that you're looking for.
Not gonna work.
It can't be about money.
No.
It can't be about sex. It can't be about any of those intangibles that are separate and apart from a totality of things that make a relationship whole. Relationships are built in essence on what men and women collectively look for in finding each other, that they are searching for and feeding for. We have to be able to reach out and tell somebody what we want and what we need. We are never going to find a single person that is going to encompass every single thing that we are looking for. Some things you are going to have to evolve together. There has to be an evolution of sorts within two people that is going to help them develop what that picture looks like and how it is going to be framed. Never, ever, ever is one person going to have every single thing that you're looking for. You may have 20 things on your list, but if you get 10, you might have to work on the other 5, and the other 5, you may have to compromise them out.
That's right.
You understand? It's just the way it is. Time is not on our side.
That's right.
The only thing that we're guaranteed in life is this moment right here. Because the next moment is,
I promise.
it's not promised. So do you allow yourself to stay apart from God's blessings, from the gifts that he has for you, that's stored away just for you? If you don't open that Pandora's box, you don't go get them, they can't get you. They don't get got, and neither do you. If that is satisfying to you, and if you find yourself in a situation of satisfaction, being by yourself and being alone, then perhaps that's where you're going to be, and that is your destination. But I assure you, That is not God's promise for your life. Where you are and where you want to be is in the middle. Find somebody to meet you in the middle that is going to be able to meet you where you are. And from that, if you have two forgiving people in the middle, you can build whatever you want from that.
Yes.
But these two people are going to have to be forgiving people because we all have a past.
Right.
Yeah.
We have all been somewhere.
Yes.
Somebody has hurt us.
Yeah.
Somebody has taken advantage of us.
Yes.
Somebody has caused us to want to be different. That's why there is a talking after dark. When people hear that term talking after dark, they're always quick to jump and think it's about something different than what it is.
Yeah.
But talking after dark is about hurtful, painful places that have caused us to be someplace that we don't really want to be, but that's where we find ourselves. And if we're ever going to move from that place, we have to continue to stay on the battlefield. Battles are won in the heart and in the mind before they're won on the battlefield.
That's right.
You have to have strategies. You have to figure out what that picture looks like and what you want it to look like, regardless to what's visible and available to you. But you have to see beyond that picture. There's an end game. There's a starting place, but there's an end game. In the beginning was the Word, but that was the beginning. And everything came after the Word. We have to speak until the universe what it is we want, what we want to extrapolate from every day that we live. Getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, going to bed, doing the same thing, that is not what God intended for us to do. I promise you. If you so decide to be single because that's just what you want, that ain't what God wants for you. That's what you want. And that's your prerogative to see it however you need to see it, to do with that whatever you need to do with it. But I can assure you, you have to stay in the game. And speaking from a man's perspective, I can tell you that I'm not completely satisfied with the way I see men treat women or in relationships. But as I talk to brothers about why they are the way they are, why things happen the way they are, one of the things that they say all the time is that women have taken them for granted. Women have used them and abused them, have thought that they did not have feelings, that they didn't have emotions themselves, that they were not hurt, that they were not abused. And women sometimes get caught up with the idea that they think they know what men want. How do you know? If you don't ask him, if you don't communicate that to him. We cannot just make that assumption that he's a man and every man just wants sex and he just wants to feel. That's a lie. That is the biggest lie ever told. That's not what they want. And a man's responsibility to you is to make sure that as his woman that he protects you, he provides for you. You understand? And he finds you, he leads you to God's house.
That's right.
Hopefully that's where he is in his place. Most of us are at least over the age of 30 or 40 or whatever. So we've been through some things. We've been some places. So all of those opportunities that we've had in those relationships should have taught us something.
Yes.
Something about ourselves, and it should have showed us something about those people that we were engaged in those conversations with. Enough to put us in a perspective of knowing what we want and what we don't want. Figuring out how to get it, that's a challenge. But I will tell you, ladies, that there is life after death. Life is truly for the living. Truly for the living. My hope for each of you that you will take this opportunity, having heard the conversations of these other ladies, and they have said something to you that have made you think in some part about your own situations and your own relationships, that it will put you in a place and a space that your minds will become open, because in the renewing of the mind is the renewing of your strength, it's the renewing of the essence of the woman that you are, the beauty that and the passion that you possess inside that somebody is waiting to hang on to. Somebody wants to see that. Somebody needs that in their life. If there is a man for every woman and a woman for every man, then where is yours? He is out there. He is waiting for you. And you're going to have to meet some people. And everybody that you meet is not going to be what you want. Don't worry about trusting him. Trust you. Trust you because you know what you want. You know what you need. You know what's important to you. So find yourself in a place where you can leave yourself open for business. Put your own sign out on your own property. You for rent or it's for sale.
Advertise.
What do you want to advertise for your suitor to see? What do you need them to see? Because we've all been hurt. We all have skeletons in the closet. We all have things that have troubled us to the point that we are where we are. But if we're going to move forward, we have to move forward not looking for happiness, but looking for holiness. Speaking to God about our issues in life, our concerns, and about those things that hurt us most, or the things that allow us to remove ourselves from those soul ties. Those soul ties that become those skeletons in our closet. Some of us have so many skeletons in our closet that they are graveyards. Let the dead bury the dead, because life is for the living.
That's right.
Until you are willing to declare your own truth, stand upon your own principles and godly principles for your life and your living, and trust the process. But you are going to have to do the work. The work may not always be easy. It may not happen the way you want it to, but don't trust yourself or what that picture looks like. Ask God, is this the picture that you're supposed to see? Is this the place that you're supposed to be? And you will know exactly what that picture looks like, because you're not trusting yourself to give to you what you want and need. You're trusting God to deliver unto you what he said is right and good for you. So, with that being said, tell me what's different about you today, about this conversation, that is going to make you do something different about finding your Boaz.
Mine is to let go a little more, because I have an issue with trust. Because everybody that I, is trust. So I need to let go and just let it kind of play its role and see, because I have an issue with trust.
Can I say something?
Sure.
We can go through this and we can go through that. I believe, and I'm gonna tell you something that everyone needs to know. Your best out is to start with the Bible.
Yeah.
That's your best out.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't, that's no telling where you're gonna go. And how you do that, you gotta talk to him personally.
Yeah.
And tell him what you want, and then you gotta ask him, as long as it follows his way. If it's his will, it's perfect will. If it ain't a perfect will, let it go. Because a lot of stuff we just talked about, what you just people, they don't know that. The people out in the world, they don't understand that. That's why we're in the trouble that we are.
Well, that's why every relationship with God is a personal one. It doesn't matter what the world thinks and how they feel. Your relationship with God is just for you. So in listening to your conversation with these ladies, I can feel some hurt in you. I can feel some painful places in you that make you speak the way you speak.
Not hurt.
Hurt, lack of trust, call it pain, call it dark places or spaces. So why don't you speak to that? Because I can see it and I can hear it. Your emotions speak it.
Okay.
So why don't you just say what that is?
Not hurt, disappointment. Disappointed because individuals don't understand the way of life, don't understand what a man is, don't understand what a male is, don't understand what a husband is.
Let's talk about your relationship, not
Just listen.
you, just you.
Well, I don't want to get into total details, but the details that I'm going to get into is going to be the details that's needed to be heard. And what I mean is, not to tell my personal business, but if you pay attention to what I'm saying, you'll know. And so those things that most people, they don't understand. It's not about hurt, it's about disappointment. I was in a relationship for over almost 40 years. Married almost 30 years. Been knowing them since I was a teenager. Started off rough. I was a fool. Young and stupid. Matured, grew up in my 20s. Still wasn't perfect. Was understanding and looking to God for what a man should do, what a man should be. And a man is not your daddy.
Say that.
He's your companion.
Mm.
He's your friend. If he ain't your friend, you got trouble.
Say that.
If you don't understand that he's your helpmate, helper, and not your daddy or your money tree,
Machine.
you're gonna have trouble. You'll hear people say, or hear women say they want to walk together and do things together, but then you got to put the money in the right place. It's got to be controlled the right way, and it's got to be understand how to use money. Okay, someone who's probably going to make more money than the other, but the godly way is that both person has to understand what the money is for, the right way to use money, and what does it mean. Now, the details that I'm going into, people don't really understand what a relationship is. They don't understand what it's supposed to be. You're going to only find that in the Bible. You're not going to find it in this world, because the world going to tell you all kind of foolish stuff and have you doing foolish things. Some women believe that a man is supposed to take care of all of their needs. Somebody lied to you. Some men believe that a woman is supposed to take care of all his needs. Somebody lied to him. We are helpmates to each other to enjoy this life and this world in a relationship together, side by side. You understand? A male is a protector, and what is a woman? She's a nurturer.
Yeah.
You understand me? And when you look up the definition of protector and look definition of nurture, and you follow those guidelines, things gonna work out a lot smoother. But when a woman will tell you, well, you're a man, you need to do this, you need to do that, it's got to line up with what the word says, what a man is. And a lot of those things get a man in trouble. And when a man is not strong enough here and know what a man supposed to be, a woman can take him all the way ahead.
So what was missing in your relationship?
I'm not gonna say missing. What I'm gonna say is, in relationships, people have to understand what the relationship is. Communication, like you said, is the most important thing.
Did you have that in your relationship?
I gave it
Did you get it?
some. But what was lacking was understanding. Now, some situations just different. Some situations are different. Well, you may have been with somebody for so long and been through so many things that the understanding part can be difficult. But as we get older and we mature, but like, and you said something very important earlier, you said that we have to be forgiving people because everybody makes mistakes. Now, each person can't keep making those dumb mistakes, and you have to stand there and keep forgiving for those. But you have to be too forgiving people. And these are things that have to be talked about before that relationship starts. One of the keys I would give when you get into dating is you tell them what you want, what you expect, what you want for yourself, what you expect in them, and what is going to be who you are and what you're going to do, and y'all talk about that, and y'all discuss that before you go to public and anything else. You talk about what you want in a relationship, what you like to do in that relationship, what you're not going to accept in that relationship. You understand? You put it on the table before you go to second base.
So what's your current status?
See?
Single?
Yeah.
How long?
Divorce.
How long have you been single?
Been divorced about I don't know, since 18. I've been with a person, like I say.
So
Well-
are you single and available, or are you single and just single?
I'm divorced. They ain't saying I'm not,
So you're
I'm not
divorced.
dating. But we have we working within the relationship, and we trying to let God lead us where we need to be.
So you and your wife,
right.
ex-wife?
So y'all still communicating. There's still hope
Yeah.
of you guys getting
Yeah.
back together.
There's still hope.
Still hope.
Mhm.
Well, that's a good place to be. I imagine if that's where you guys choose to be. But it sounds like to me almost that you are operating from a hurtful place. I know you're eluding it, but disappointment, hurt is just a play on words. It's just word power. But however important it is to you, it's still important to you.
Mhm.
But as long as the people in that are forgiving people, then
Yeah.
you can find opportunities to work on that and work at that.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you have to heal from, and I know that you're still disappointed because I don't hear the healing. So that means you're still working on healing yourself from your disappointments.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely.
So would you say that she's healing from hers, or you guys are working collectively to resolve those healing issues?
I don't know what she doing. But what I do know is that when you put everything into something, see, as men, we have to have a vision, and we have to have a goal, and we have to have a place to get to a protection for these women here. Which sometimes they don't understand what that looks like.
So provide protection and persuade or pursue.
That's right. That's right.
So that's the man's place.
See, that's part of what a man is. Okay, so when I touched on the money part, say you got $20,000 in the bank. That don't mean you're gonna spend $20,000. See, a man works from a point of view where he's gonna secure tomorrow. Some people or some women think of today. And that's a problem.
Mr. Terry, can I
Yes,
ask you a
ma'am.
question? Are you still like financially supporting your wife?
No,
Oh, okay.
divorce.
Okay, y'all
She don't
divorced.
need my support no more
But you
because she
still-
has got enough of that support from the divorce. You understand what I'm saying?
See that? Okay, so that's what I'm about to ask you. So, is she on the same page as you as far as forgiving and trying to work it, or is that your
Well, they-
side? You're trying, because you're a man of God.
Yeah.
So you're working.
She's a woman of God.
Oh, she's a woman of God too. So y'all have an understanding that we're gonna work on this and try to get back together.
Those are words we use.
Okay, so she's saying that also.
Those are words we use, but both of us got to understand how to get there.
Right, so y'all haven't got there yet, but that's what each
That's the
of y'all are
plan.
saying, but nobody have made the preparation to do it. So that's why you still saying you're disappointed.
Yeah.
Because she is not coming around to get together to try to fix this thing, right?
No,
Right.
she is, but you got to make progress, and you got to see what the picture is.
Right.
Now-
Can I say this?
One of the things that I was talking about is, see, we look for to protection of the whole unit,
Yeah,
the
as a
whole
man.
family, and
Right.
to make sure that when we get over 60, we have
Yeah.
a plan for 40, we have a plan for 50 years old, we have a plan for 60 years old,
70.
we have a plan for 70. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you have plans like that, so we have to build something to have that to be in place when we get 60.
But my thing is to you, you love your wife. Even though y'all divorced, you love her and that's who you want to be with. That's who you choosing to spend the rest of your life with, right? That's what you
You
want.
can say that.
Yeah. That's
My-
what you're saying.
One of my goals was I wanted to be married to one woman.
Right.
I
So
wanted
that
to
was
have
your
children by
goal.
one woman,
That
and I
was
wanted
your
to stay
goal.
married to that woman for the rest of my life because I believe in generational curses.
Right, but let me ask you, not getting in your business, but what caused you guys to divorce? Because to divorce is something
Well-
y'all couldn't reconcile or
I can
nothing.
tell-
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
say this: Satan is real.
Oh yeah.
Satan is real.
Oh yeah. On a rampage.
Understand me?
So one of the most important things about this is understanding that when you decide to turn your life over to God and you begin to operate in godly principles, you cannot ask God to bless what He did not put together.
Right.
If you put things together yourself and that's what you did,
Yeah.
don't expect God to always agree with what you did.
And what you
That's
want
right.
to
You
do
have to
with
make sure that where you are and what you're doing is anointed
up with-
by God
Yeah.
and aligns with what He has and what He wants for your life.
Sure.
Right.
So when those things come apart or fall apart or don't materialize, you have to ask God. God is not so big that you can't question Him. That you can't. Well, God, is this the man for me? Is this the woman for me? And sometimes we choose relationships.
Right.
We choose people
Mhm.
based upon our own intellect, what we want, what we see, what
Right.
we like.
Right.
That may not be God's plan.
Right.
Mhm.
If we are going to function in holiness and we're going to function in godly principles, you are going to have that hard conversation with God about where you are and what that picture looks like for you.
Mhm.
So I will tell you that in closing, I want you to each think about what was said here. I want you to think about some opportunities for you to think about your past relationships and what you can extrapolate from those relationships that you learned about yourself. What you learned about that other person that you may need to see again and those that you don't want to see again from them and from you. Use those opportunities to show yourself something about yourself, but don't dismiss yourself from God's love, from a place or from an opportunity to find that perfect person for you. Because he is there and she is there. But nevertheless, and regardless of what did happen, it's what can happen. I hear women say all the time that I've been there, I've done that, got the hat, got the t-shirt, and that's not where I want to be. It is where you want to be. You just want to be there with the right person. You want to be there with the person that is going to make you excited
Right.
about being with them, excited
day.
about coming home to, excited about
That's right.
taking you out or to a concert or to the park or just something
Enjoying
simple.
each other's company.
Enjoying
Right.
each other's time and space.
Naturally.
You do want to be
Wait
there.
to get to them and all that kind of
Trust the process and do the work.
Yeah.
The work is not going to work for you. You are going to have to do the work. The light in your store is going to have to stay on 24 hours. Never separating yourself from that opportunity. Where he is or where she is may not be here.
Right.
It may be there. How you make that communication, how that happens, you don't have to worry about it. If it's in God's plans, it will happen and it will manifest on its own. But you can't be dismissive of it, because we all have our own ideas about what we want or what we like or what this man or this woman is going to look like.
Mhm.
Is that really important? Does he have to wear a size 8 shoe? Does he have to be the best dresser in town? Does he have to have a Jerry curl? Does he have to wear you understand? All those things that should not matter, that we make matter,
Yeah.
they really don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to really think about what's really, really important.
Yeah.
You know, is this somebody I want to grow old with?
Exactly.
Can we take care of each other? Can we support each other? Can we live a life of love and laughter together until death do us part? Not about how much money he makes or how much money she makes. If he's got $10 and you got 20, you got 30.
It is.
That's all that matters.
It is.
Because guess what? You can't take none of it with you.
None of it with you.
All you can do is leave it here for somebody else. We all got insurance policies. Not for us. It's for what we leave behind.
Mhm.
So live today. Enjoy today, because
Like it's not
this
no
moment
tomorrow.
is all that we have.
That's it.
So from Talking After Dark, can we just say thank you for your time, thank you for your attention, look forward to your comments, and I thank the ladies on this panel and my brother here for this opportunity to be engaging and having this dialogue. God bless you, God keep you. Remember to share, like, subscribe, and do comment. Thank you.